our theme today is about AI and Web3 collaboration. So, as we all know, that the artificial intelligence is a constellation of many different technologies working together to enable machines to sense, comprehend, act, and learn with human-like levels of intelligence. AI is definitely the future. That AI about AI, there are a lot of things that humans are pretty bad at, and we should want AI to help us with those things and work together with us to fix them, especially when it comes to solving complex problems. So that is the exact thing that we want the Web3 space has been addressing since the first Bitcoin block. So how can we coordinate big, decentralized, complex groups of people around to solve some common purpose? I would propose that there are some areas where AI and Web3 combined can truly help the society to tackle its most complicated problems. So before we get started on the questions, I want our guests to introduce yourself. Um, could we have Sharon first? Hi, Sharon.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Becca. Thanks for having us here. And so, hello, everyone. My name is Sharon. I'm the ambassador of Legend of Arcadia. So, for those of you that are not so familiar with us, Legend of Arcadia, or LA as we call it, LA is a multi chain and free for sure, also play to earn card game. So what we do is that we have over 7 different gameplay modes with some PvP and of course some PvE. And currently we are building on the Sway blockchain, and we have actually conducted many successful alpha tests during the last few months. And definitely a big shout out to our warm community. So yeah, we actually initiated a protocol called GameFi Prediction Protocol. And on Sway, we got over 20K on-chain users with over 100K on-chain transactions on mainnet. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, very excited to be here to discuss more on the combination of in AI and the Web3 industry. Thank you, Becca.
Thank you, Sharon. That's perfect. And next, could we have Skylar to introduce yourself and also your project, please?
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? My name is Sky Harris. I have been in the Web3 space for about 4, maybe 5 years now. Since I started, I've worked on, DeFi projects, lending protocols, NFT projects. Yeah, formerly at Lenovo and ByteDance, where I did marketing for them. But yeah, I'm currently CEO and co-founder of History DAO. And yeah, a little bit about History DAO. Basically, History DAO is where the world comes together to record history and current events in Web3. So the model is basically we have the History DAO platform where users come and mint historic and current NFT events. And what it does is sort of like replaces the current news cycle, the current business model of the current news cycle. So we just see a lot of problems with the way that journalism is moving, and clickbait media and advertising is moving right now. And so we want to, decentralize and democratize the recording of basically the news. And we do that through users being able to upload their own NFTs with text and articles and images and, kind of their version of history. And then we have users vote on that on the most meritable NFTs, and the best go to the top of the stack. And so users are able to see a more true, more decentralized version of current events in history. So yeah, really also excited to be here, and thanks for having us today.
Thank you, Skylar. And last but not least, we'll have Chris from Chatty Official. Hello, Chris. How's your day going?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. We can hear you.
Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry for the late. There's some trouble.
No worries.
Yeah. Are we doing the introduction now?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Let me go to introduce you. What is Chatian? Okay,
Yeah.
Chatian is
please
a
introduce us to your. Sorry. Please introduce yourself to us, and also about the brief introduction regarding your project.
Okay, sure. Okay, I'm Chris. I'm the CMO of Chatian. We have done several Twitter space before about Web3 social AI. So today I will be sharing more interesting things with you guys. First, Chatian is a Web3 social application platform, and it is also a dynamic DID map protocol generated by users. So through Chatian, we hope to return the social relationship in Web3 to users and let users build their own DID in their interaction and get a certain benefit as a result. Chatting is a social app also integrates multiple social scenarios like voice chat, text chat, Square, game, and swap. So users can interact with different content in the chatting ecosystem and generate their unique user input. The input of each user within a certain period of time will be synced to their DNID and represent their DID on the chain. So Chadian's vision is to build users' DID graph protocol through their own interactive information and enable them to use their DID in different ecosystems. Yeah, that's basically the background of Chadian.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Yeah, so yeah, it's perfect. And now let's get to our targeted questions. So the first question that I want to ask is, how is AI influencing the development of decentralized applications in Web3? Because like all of you guys have already introduced the basic background of your project. So I want to hear your opinion on like how AI is influencing the apps in Web3. And Skylar, would you mind going first?
Yeah, sure. So I think the overall effect and basically the total effect of AI is still, kind of yet to be seen. We've seen a lot of steam and a lot of things picking up recently, especially with it being more popularized with ChatGPT. I think AI is basically revolutionizing the development of decentralized apps in Web3 by like unlocking new levels of efficiency, new levels of intelligence, new levels of automation. I think that allowing and enabling developers to basically work at much quicker speeds, to work more effectively, to build more robust products is going to be like a big factor here with AI influencing dApps and Web3. Um, so, through integrating AI technologies, dApps can harness the power of machine learning, data analytics, and basically just optimize a bunch of different processes within their own ecosystems. I think having on-chain data available for, across the entire Web3 blockchain space just makes running these AI scripts even more lucrative. So, yeah, I think AI will kind of flourish in an open source, on-chain sort of world. And I think dApps will reflect that, being that they are, ideally inherently open source and on chain themselves. So I think with History DAO, more specifically, AI algorithms can assist in like curating historical events, analyzing user generated content is a big one for us, analyzing and curating, generating valuable insights from all the data that's stored on the chain. These are all things that will kind of like the leveraging AI will be able to kind of enhance the functionalities of our project with. So yeah, I think you think about the Web2 world and what major companies like say Facebook kind of did with data over the last 10, 15 years, and just think of that on a much more rapid scale and much more accelerated timeline. So
Yeah, like I totally agree with you because like I'm a data analyst, so like nowadays I don't even have to write a script myself. I can like just ask Chat GPT to write it for me, and it's perfect. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, definitely like for the for the backend part, so AI is definitely helping us nowadays. And Sharon, what do you think?
Yeah, thanks, Becca. And yeah, I really agree with what Sky just shared about how the AI is really boosting the current efficiency of basically every aspect of the of our current DApps industries. You know, not only the analytics part, but definitely a lot of automation in all of the process. You know, one of the one of the vital part for us here at LA would be, you know, smart contract automation, because, you know, there's a lot of good stuff out there, open source, and initially you need your engineer to source it out, and then, you know, figure it out themselves to utilize the stuff into the own design of a certain project. But then again, with the help from AI, of course, everything will be sourced out more efficiently, more quickly, and then it does not stop at the step of sourcing, for sure. And then next step, it definitely gives you it's like a good assistant on the designing part, and the actual writing of the smart contract. When you combine different modules together, that's definitely a big assist. And I think that's one of the most significant role that AI can play in different types of DApps in the Web3 industry. And so, yeah, definitely a boost in the efficiency is really vital here. And then, you know, a lot of other things that's benefiting our industry. I think one of the other highlight could be, you know, the improvement on the security level. You know, AI actually enhance the security of different DApps, with their high efficiency in detecting the vulnerabilities in your contract, also in your mechanism design, and definitely a much quicker approach to identify frauds and user behaviors. So I think in a certain way, it's improving the security, and also definitely a big boost in the efficiency of our current workflow. So yeah, that's my opinion on the help of AI for our industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Like I noticed that you mentioned about the security. Yeah, so like we can use the AI technology to set up like automatic like alerts to monitor the user activities to avoid risk in the end. Yeah, that's a really like essential part. And Chris, what do you think? Like how can the use of like sorry, so like how do you think like the use of AI can influence the apps in Web3?
Sure. Actually, for us, we will integrate AI into our protocol because we are voice chatting room. Previously, people are all using the use a platform to onboard actual people. They are going to chat with each other. But now we have AI, so we can bring more sceneries. So it will also decrease our cost from our perspective. And also from another side, for Web3 devs, I think there is one useful point to take away from AI. It's a user behavior analysis. AI can analyze user behavior patterns and detect suspicious or unauthorized activities in the decentralized network. So we can help to mitigate the risk related to the fraud activities and account compromise. So it will be help us improve our security in the users, so we can build better trust between the users and platform. And for us, we can use more scenarios and bring a more different kind of characters into our voice chatting room, so users can feel more enriched experience in the platform.
Thank you, Chris. So now we're going to our second part. So Chris just mentioned about the user experience. So yeah, that's a really good topic. So I want to ask you guys, so what impact is AI having on the user experience and user interface in Web3 applications? Because we all know that, you know, having a good product is very important. However, like on the other side, we also want the user to have the maximum satisfaction while using our product. So Sharon, would you mind going first? Please like tell us like how you think the impact the AI is having on the user experience and user interfaces. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Becca. So, one of the exciting thing that we are doing here at LA, which is gonna launch pretty soon, is a AI bot, AI chatbot. So, I think it's definitely a great approach of improving the current user experience. In terms of having a smart, actually intelligent chatbot that can understand players' questions from different angles, also from different languages actually. Of course, you guys are already familiar with ChatGPT, and what we did here at LA is actually utilizing the current machine learning and models into making this very own chatbot of our own, based on the characteristics of one of our main character called. Actually, I shall not share the name. Stay tuned, guys. Yeah, one of our most beloved character, and he or she has a very different, very special tone of talking, and we do want to create this illusion or the vibe of having the character that we designed to come to life and talk to our audience. There's mainly two utilities that we're aiming for. Firstly, making fun, so the character can actually be as we design it in the storyline. He or she will tell you about their own life, what happened in the past, what got them here at this stage, and how the battle you are having in our game is affecting your relationship with this very own chatbot. So, and that's also a touch of personal customization for sure. And so yeah, we one of the main goals is to make things fun and more interesting for our players, to have them to give them better user experience. And another more concrete, down to earth utilities that we're aiming to achieve through this AI bot is to answer all types of questions from the users, because community is definitely a huge part in the development of any GameFi project or any Web3 project. And we are very lucky to have a warm community supporting us along the way. We are reaching over 100K users across our channels. And one of our main pain points is definitely having many incoming inquiries every day, and a lot of them are pretty repetitive or unpredictable, and having a manual answer, a person in charge of answering all of those questions, is definitely not the most efficient way. And so adopting the AI bot is definitely a great help to unleash the staff capacity of our community manager and our moderators. And yeah, also in the meantime, it's the character from the game that's answering all of your questions. So we make it fun, and we make it useful at the same time, and it's definitely a great improvement on the existing and previous user experience of our design. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. So let me just summarize it quickly. So Sharon's point is that the use of AI, like in her project, is aimed to enhance the human interaction with the game characters. And and Skylar, what do you think?
Yeah, could you repeat the question?
Yeah, definitely. So my question is, what impact is AI having on the user experience and user interfaces in Web3 applications?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I think when it comes to UI UX for Web3, I think the biggest question is, I think everybody kind of, I would say UI UX is like the answer that most people have when it comes to the question about how we bring on the next 10 million users, 100 million users, a billion users, right? So if you think about like scaling UI UX at that level, how do we do it? And there's a couple issues. I think one is just basically the sheer labor power and having enough designers or having enough focus in UI UX to be able to kind of like counteract this problem. I think another problem is some more like fundamental issues like account security, account abstraction, the use of smart contract wallets, wallet recovery, passphrase recovery, like all these kinds of like Web2 solutions that we have that we don't necessarily have for Web3 yet. Like we're still trying to figure out and find solutions for. So I think the second problem is sort of a different problem, not necessarily AI generated, although the AI field can possibly help. But the first problem, I think as our tools in AI get more sophisticated, we will be able to sort of use tools like Chat GPT the same way that developers do, or use tools like Midjourney the same way that artists do, and be able to do so for design, for websites, for web apps, for mobile apps, for all these different Web3 tools that we're building. And then I think on the other side of that is just leveraging like AI driven algorithms. So basically being able to put on steroids the ability to personalize and tailor user experience for different individual preferences. Recommendation systems from AI can suggest for us basically historical events or NFT collections based on like a user's interests, enhancing their engagement, enhancing their discovery on the platform. I think beyond that, AI can streamline complex processes, make interactions easier, provide intuitive interfaces, basically to empower users to mint and trade and interact with history NFTs more fluidly. So I think we're yet to see the exact effects, but I think once we have more public tools for UI UX design, I think we'll see kind of like a rush and a big change quickly.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, especially like in the designing part, like AI can definitely, like help to speed up the process of finishing the design project. And also like yeah, the AI can study like the human data, so it can know like what our users' preferences are, and then it can like help to provide the sorry, and then it can help to provide the things that the users like. And Chris, like, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, thanks, Becca. Yeah, actually, we also had the similar function as just Cheryl mentioned. We will also integrate chat box into our platform. So I think people are using chat box more and more and integrate that to platform recently. That's a very unique experience for users. They can get from the user driven part. And for AI driven chatbots, actually they can provide real time support and information to the users of Web3 applications. So it is better than human based. Maybe there are some delay, so they can get the real time response. So maybe users can have better experience. But from another side, to be honest, for our platform, we have chatting and voice chatting. We are a voice chatting platform. To be honest, we will feel better if we can chat with the person. If we are chatting with the AI based characteristic, it will be very interesting. But you can feel it's not very like they can know you better. So people can know people better. It has been improving so far. So we will be integrate different AIs into our platform. But AI can predict users' actions and preference better than people, because it can use your historical data and know what's your preference, and this predictive capability can be used to streamline users' interactions and suggest actions, simplify the UX, so the users can also have a different experience. But for sure, I think this experience will be improved through the develop of the mass adoption of UI, and more people will to contribute to this experience, so we can adopt this very soon.
Thank you, Chris. That's amazing. And like also the like although that we like everyone's talking about how good AI is, however, like there's like also a big fear, or like a big concern about AI bias as well. There are like a myriad of risks to do with AI that we deal with in our lives today. Not every AI risk is as big as worrisome as killer robots or sentient AI. Some of the biggest risks today include things like consumer privacy, biased programming, danger to humans, and unclear legal regulation. And like furthermore, there are like privacy concerns, like security risk, and also like the dependence on AI. So like my next question is, like what do you guys think that are there like concerns about AI bias or ethical considerations in Web3 nowadays? And sorry, Sharon, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Becca. And regarding, I feel like nowadays we are, the situation is getting better, but there is still the fear of AI in our society, and I would have to say it mostly came from this sci-fi film, and which is actually not what is actually happening in real life here. We always suspect that AI may one day take over the world, and causing a lot of issues because they have their own ethics standards, and instead of following our existing ones. But I have to say that's very far away from what we're doing here right now. Currently AI is not as intelligent as a one day might be able to achieve. So I wouldn't say there's that much of ethical concerns at the moment for our industry. I think it's more of a problem of how we utilize the tool instead of being afraid of the tool, because the data would push you further away from the development train. And so I hope that we can embrace the technology more to because we need everyone here to push things forward together. And so that's on the ethical consideration parts. But I do agree that there's definitely a huge issue about the bias raised by AI, because one of the main things that we encountered when we were training our AI bot was the bias of the data. AI is mostly trained from the data that you feed them, and there's sometimes when you do the automation to a certain level, they may fall into this loop of selecting the data that's more leading towards the outcome that they are expecting. So since they're not as intelligent to that level, there's definitely a loophole in the whole process of having a biased data decision. So that's why AI at this stage is still just an assistant instead of replacing human, which I don't really think we need to worry for now. And yeah, so I think that's definitely one of the main concerns. But to every problem that we of course we have solutions to tackle them. What we do here at the moment is having someone to monitor the training process to provide the right guidance for the AI machine learning procedure. And also that's kind of the magic and the beauty of it, is that the person to train that AI doesn't necessarily need to be fully equipped with the engineering skills or the language skills that a traditional model may require. So That's also a big relief and entry barrier lowerness for every project development. So in general, I would say that of course there's certain concerns of the utilization of AI for sure. But then the key for us is how we solve it, right? So I still I, I would say that I'm very excited to see what our companions along the way have for their solutions towards the same problems that we're tackling, and that's how we push things forward together, right? And yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Sharon. So Sharon thinks that there's like nothing we should be like scared about the use of AI in Web3. And Chris, what do you think on that? Is there anything that we should worry about?
Yeah. It's very interesting that Web3 we are a decentralized world, but the AI is powerful. They have strong database. They have a lot of database, so they make an analysis of our behavior. So they may know our some information. So I'm not sure from the technology part that they can know maybe our IP, they can know our location, they can know our behavior, so they can confirm who is this person. So it's not decentralized anymore. I'm not sure from this point of view, is that from we have AI ethics? But I think from another one, it's very obvious. It's a AI data just mentioned by Sharon. Yeah, AI models learn from data, and if the training data used to develop these models is biased, so the AI system can definitely perpetuate those bias. So this may lead to unfair outcomes in decision making process. So in this one, I think I don't know how to solve this problem from the AI model part. I think this one may be improved if the users can know whether my data is biased, so I can have unfair decision from different platforms. And from the Web3, the privacy part is not only for Web3, it's for the common, not only Web3 and Web2, all the world. The AI can access our data, and we are very feel unsafe if they know who we are, what we are doing. So I think we'll be more towards involved in these AI models, so users can have better experience when interacting with AI. Yeah.
Good, thank you, Chris. So Chris and Sharon give us like two different opinions, and and Skylar. So what do you think? So do you think like is there like any concern about AI bias or ethical consideration in Web3?
Yeah, I think Sharon and Chris both make really good points. I think there's kind of two narratives that are playing out right now. On one side of the coin, and a lot of tech professionals, AI professionals are kind of battling this out right now. Like some very respectable people are on different sides of the aisle, but I think one side is saying that this new tool is going to kind of like free up all of this, manual labor time that we spend at work, and free up a lot of jobs that we don't necessarily want to be doing. And in doing so, it's going to free up basically humanity to be able to work on more creative projects, be able to create art for each other. Kind of this like optimized, idealized version of what AI could create for us. Then I think the other side of the coin is that this is sort of like a Pandora's box, and that the compounding effect of AI and machine learning means that it will quickly get out of hand. And once it's out of hand, we're unable to kind of recover it and put it back in the box. And then once you have, the sort of like general artificial intelligence that is, smarter than you, it's going to start making decisions for us. And I think kind of entertaining both ideas and both narratives right now is really important, so that we can have a discussion and sort of kind of like play out how this might work out for everybody. I think that Web3 and blockchain honestly have some pretty good solutions for for this, and I think kind of like the ethos of the space has some decent solutions for this. Openness, transparency, peerlessness, democratization, decentralization. Being able, so for example, like OpenAI now, almost fully owned by Microsoft. Who you think of the other giant players in the AI industry, and it's all players with tons of data, tons of resources, tons of computing power. Google is also up there, a couple other big players, but there's also like growing support for open source AI projects. So I think it's going to come down a lot to basically regulation and what lawmakers decide to, whose side they decide to come down on. The dangers of open source is, anybody's able to access this info. Anybody's able to do whatever they want with it, which could lead them to some, criminal activity or like these kinds of issues. But is it worth, maintaining the open source nature or the open source possibility of AI? Or will kind of like this black box of corporate AI continue to exist? So I think for us, we have the ability to put everything on chain, to make everything transparent, to be able to kind of like basically expose or kind of like scan everything going on with these different technologies. And I think if AI is able to implement some of this in its development in the coming years, then there's a chance that this technology can be more metered, or can be at least we'll know what's going on, right? Instead of it being inside some black box and in some massive Web2 company. So yeah, I think that's kind of my large take, my high level take on AI bias and ethical considerations.
Thank you, Scholar. You make a really good point. Yeah, like we can't like fully like be dependent on AI. We still have to think of a way to, like use AI technologies like more reasonably and like keep the control in our hands. Thank you for speaking it out. And my next question is, how is AI enhancing the security and privacy aspects of Web3? And Chris, would you mind answering first?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for Becca. For the AI security and privacy, actually, we have mentioned it in the previous topics. But from the AI behavior analysis, we just mentioned like they have the bias. They can access our data, but it has the goodwill from this side. Is they can identify the suspicious unauthorized activities. So maybe they can alert us if there is a scam or there is anything feel like risky for us. We can set our patterns. So that may be also a good aspect of this AI models. But from the data protection, AI protect the sensitive data through the encryption, tokenize, and access control. So from the Web3 AI-driven data loss prevention system can monitor data flows and prevent unauthorized data leaks. That will be better for the Web3 people because they are all conscious about our data, our information. So from this perspective, AI can also improve the data protection. And also for the behavior analysis, they identify the suspicious behavior from the Web3 world, and also they can bring user authorization to this process, so people can know this alert very soon. Know they can improve the data, like this data it's dangerous, it's not safe, so they can avoid some laws, or they can avoid some bad behavior from Web3. I think that will be very useful, and for the Web3 people, especially when you are doing some trading. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so definitely like AI, because the AI like it makes it possible for machines to learn from experience. So which means to study historical data. So yeah, so definitely like using these technologies, the computers can be trained to accomplish a certain task by processing large amounts of data and recognizing patterns in data. So if there's alert, then the use of AI technology, can help us human to recognize them. And Skylar, what do you think? How is AI enhancing the security and privacy aspects of of Web3?
Yeah, I think when it comes to AI enhancing security and privacy, I think it's important that Web3 projects are looking into these tools, the computing power that AI will have, and the capability they have to sort of create security problems for projects that maybe aren't utilizing it could be more drastic than we've seen before. We've seen a lot of hacks in DeFi over the last few years. DeFi is basically a big honeypot for that kind of thing. If we have, bad players in the space that are utilizing these tools to kind of like accelerate their computing power, that could be an issue. I think that leveraging these AI-driven security protocols for these teams is going to be increasingly important to be able to sort of like counteract that counter pressure. So identifying like potential threats, vulnerabilities, be able to like mitigate that kind of stuff proactively instead of reactively when which is kind of like the ethos of cybersecurity, right? So I think AI powered like detection systems can monitor blockchain transactions and detect suspicious activities. So basically, one of the benefits of our space is having everything on chain and being able to, and you see this on Twitter all the time. There's always people scanning like movements of whales across different chains and different ecosystems. This is all stuff that you can like, program notifications for if you wanted with whatever, whatever language you're trying to use to do that. I think AI algorithms can bolster privacy measures by like making sensitive user data more anonymous and securing interactions with the platform. I think, but yeah, it remains to be seen if this is going to be a more, I guess, profitable use case for the bad players in the space or the good players in the space. And I think it's going to be a race for everyone to try to implement these tools to use AI technology to either bolster their security or try to break down another project's security. So I think that the security problem and the security audit problem in the space is going to be increasingly important because the tools are more important and more powerful.
Thank you. That's excellent. And Sharon, like I remember, like when I asked my first question today, you mentioned about the security, like and also like how it can like help the user to ensure like a better like secure environment in Web3. So could you please like briefly tell us like your opinion on how is AI enhancing the security and privacy aspects of Web3?
Yeah, thanks, Becca. So yes, as I mentioned, AI is now already being utilized for the purpose of different types of security loophole detection. Because actually, before I joined the Web3 industry, I was working in the AI related industry. That's more on the not on the cool and farm prep, but actually we're making something more on the industrial side. For we were actually detecting material it, false detection. So basically, the AI is trained to learn from the past examples of divided products, and then getting the pattern of it, and then being able to identify the detections in those the defections of those products. So that's actually a quite interesting and useful experience when I move on to the Web3 industry, and then when this year comes, there's a huge wave of combining AI into your existing Web3 products, and I found it kind of related. Initially, I was in part of those image false detection of the product defection, and then now when I'm training the AI bot, or actually having AI to detect our user experience, it's the concept behind is actually the same. You feed the AI with the pattern of certain false alarms that originally was supposed to be identified through bare eyes, and then they could identify the patterns into this fraud, and then being able to assist in the detection, and furthermore definitely preventing the fraud from happening in the next step. And on the blockchain, everything is actually much easier, because when you not easier, but more definitely a good match for AI to analyze, because everything is on chain and transparent, as it's supposed to be. The AI could analyze your transaction patterns, your existing user behaviors, and when the things are transparent, when more data available for your AI, it gets smarter. It can more efficiently and accurately identify suspicious activities, and give you a red flag ahead of time. And especially when the security is a huge concern of the Web3, of the blockchain field. And with that massive amount of data, it's really hard for us to use traditional ways to monitor the transaction behaviors of every user. So having AI in the way is definitely a good assist. That's to protect the whole concept, the integrity of the concept of being decentralized, from and definitely preventing us as a project or any user to prevent them from any financial losses. And so yeah, I think that's my opinion on how AI is assisting us in the improvement of building a stronger security level. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, like the collaboration of AI and AML is definitely a promising trend. And my so like I think that like generative AI and Web3 will be like peanut butter and jelly on a fresh bread, but with code, infrastructure, and asset portability. And while we are already seeing the practical applications of Web3 and the AI play out in technology platforms, online interactions, scripts, game, and social media apps, we're also seeing a replay of the responsible AI and blockchain hype cycles of the mid 2010s. So AI is transforming how we interact with technology, and its integration into Web3 can create a new era of decentralized technology. So my next question is, in what ways do AI and Web3 intersect to create new business models and industries? Chris, would you mind answering this first?
Sure. For new business model generated by AI, actually our Chattian is one of the applications. We are new business model because we are using AI powered decentralized social network, and we are using AI characters. So AI can be used to enhance content recommendation, moderation, and user engagement on decentralized social network. And also we are using AI powered voice chatting characteristics. So there will be bring more diversity to the platform. So that's a new business model for us and for social in Web3. So we can have more interesting perspective from the Web2 world. And also a new business model and the implication is the marketplace. We are not using this AI powered marketplace now, but in the future maybe we will have the in-app marketplace in the Chatien application. So for the marketplace, AI can optimize decentralized marketplace by improving search recommendation system and also improve user experience in buying assets, decentralized apps, and more. So this new business model of marketplace, this may be very interesting if people can customize and input their own preference, so they can have more choices and better experience if they use their own database preference to doing research and buying assets and NFTs. So the marketplace will be very interesting business new model for the AI powered business. Yeah. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's perfect. So like people say that AI and Web3, like their marriage, is going to giving us like a new brand, like a brand new like whole picture of how the future is going. And Sharon, could you please like share like your insights on this?
Yeah, sure. It's definitely exciting to see what the combination of AI and Web3 can bring. And one of the biggest instruments is definitely on the financial side. So there's a lot of exciting new business models proposed by different projects. And actually, one of the things that we did here at LLA was that we held this. AIGC content contest, and we have a lot of great work coming from our community using their existing materials on the character design to create something that's a bit of AI and also a bit of the perspective and the angle of that certain player, how they want to mold this AI generated content. So, and that was actually a good hit in our community. In any traditional gaming industry, your Web2 game project is definitely will approach a lot of artists to create paintings of your existing character. And but that's something of course pretty cool, but limited to only a certain of people with strong skills that can participate in this kind of campaign. And nowadays with AI, we could involve more and more people in our existing communities to participate in the creation, in the fun of creation. And everyone now gets a share of the prize pool, even if you're not you're not a painter, but you still you get the chance to experience in the whole journey. So that's something pretty exciting for our users. And another thing actually was you know uh, working with other artists and then use AI to generate a series of new artworks and having both parties as the royalty owners. And that's definitely one of the feasible way of a new business model. So as some of you may know, we at LA we held this NFT crossover polling campaign a while ago, and we were very honored to have over 20 NFT projects join us. And in the end, three were voted out as the most favored by our community. And then the next step is that we combine the design style of our own game, Legend of Arcadia, with the winning NFT project, and then to create a new series of NFTs based on the materials that we feed to the AI. And then, you know, the new series of NFT would have a bit touch of our own design, and then also a bit of the other projects, as well as the key elements of AI generated content. So you know, during this whole process, the actual length of painting is drastically shortened, and then in the end both parties can still, you know, share the final sales on the based on the royalty fees of the newly generated NFTs. So that's something that's pretty excited that we can do here with the, you know, when you combine AI and Web3 product. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Like, I think like you just mentioned that AI, like it indeed it involved like everyone in the process, like everyone is like a part of it. So that is truly amazing. So in the Web3 ecosystem, AI can enhance user experience, automate decision making process, and enable personalized interactions. AI algorithm can analyze user behavior, preference, and feedback to provide tailored content and recommendations. So, last but not the least, Skylar, so in what ways do AI and Web3 intersect to create new business models and industries?
Yeah, I think there is a couple interesting things going on that I've heard about. I think the first one that kind of like frames it for me is sort of the Sam Altman WorldCoin project, and Sam Altman famously being the CEO of OpenAI as well. So basically, this AI revolution kind of creates a new need for verifying identity and being able to do so securely and privately, of basically anyone's work, anyone's social media post, anyone's like any sort of like presence that any single human or collection of humans or whatever has online, right? So I think it's going to be increasingly important with things like elections, where there's going to be countless easily producible pieces of content that may or may not be real. They may or may not have an original owner. From what we can tell, they need kind of like these solutions so that we know that people posting things or that people creating things are indeed human. And so I think ZK technology is one thing that is sort of kind of trying to address this. ZK technology in the blockchain space being zero knowledge technology, with Starks and Snarks, and being able to basically prove something without having to give up your identity, right? So we want users to be able to remain anonymous if they'd like in online, especially, but being able to prove that something comes from a human without having to say who you are, what your legal name is, where you're from, what your ID card number is, those kinds of things. I think blockchain has a really interesting use case there. I think kind of the other one that's maybe a little less certain, but also perhaps maybe a little bit more interesting is if you think about kind of the layers and layers and layers of abstraction that will happen with AI doing a lot of business for us. They're going to need some sort of settlement layer, some sort of like financial settlement layer to use, which probably won't be layers and layers of regulations and middlemen in the existing banking system, right? So AI being as optimized and efficient as it's going to want to be is not going to want to go through the traditional banking system, which takes 3 to 5 days to send a wire transfer. Instead, AI is going to probably prefer to take a couple of seconds or a fraction of a second to settle transactions on chain. So you can think of a whole host of different cryptocurrencies being able to provide that solution. So I think those are kind of the two biggest ones that are on my mind right now. But I think it's still early to tell, and it's kind of exciting to I guess not know what kind of like amazing innovations and what kind of amazing sort of collaborations are going to happen between AI and Web3.
Thank you. Perfect. Let me just quickly summarize it. So in the Web3 context, the artificial intelligence is pivotal in crafting tailored user experiences through data analysis, interaction patterns, and preferences. AI employs the collaborative and content-based filtering technologies, generating personalized recommendations and enhancing various facts of the Web3 platforms. My last question of the day is an open question, so like take it easy, like no stress. My question is, do you guys think is AI ruling Web3, or is Web3 ruling AI? And Chris, would you mind going first?
Sure. And it is an open question. Actually, I also have one question I want to discuss with you guys. Is that I think you guys also heard there are some AI applications, AI projects. They have users, but they are not making money. So some of the AI projects they are also issue their own tokens, so they can monetize their business model and generate some revenue from the token side. So I'm not sure whether this is a good way to monetize AI by tokenize, or it is just make use of the Web3 and the decentralized world, because this one not contribute to the AI technology at all. So I also want to hear you guys' opinion.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'll kind of give my opinion then. I think it's going to depend a lot on where resources go. I think it's going to depend on the talent in each space. I think it's going to depend on sort of the fundamentals of each space. I think we're dealing with a couple of very revolutionary, innovative technologies that have the chance to really change the world. And I think, the machine learning stuff has been around for, I guess, 40, 50 years now, but just recently gained enormous acceleration and enormous speed with some of these new advancements like ChatGPT and bringing it to the rest of the world and being able to have that compound effect and sort of like having that recursive effect of users, constantly interacting. I think ChatGPT got to however many millions of users in just like such a record time compared to all these other platforms that did the same. So I think that the interplay and the interaction between AI and Web3 blockchain is going to be increasingly interesting. And I think that honestly, we're solving kind of different problems, but eventually they will merge and have a lot of interaction between them as the years go on and as we develop both spaces.
Yeah, regarding what Becca just asked, it's an interesting question, and I personally would have to say that currently at the moment, I still think that it's Web3 ruling that instead of the other way, because there's when it comes to when you look at the Web3 industry, the key parts is still being the whole principle has not changed from the very own beginning, though a few projects or a few chains design is not as decentralized as they could have been, but the whole concept is unchanged, and the meaning of being Web3 is having different all of the users participating in the process of generating content. And so that's always been the key, one of the key fundamental principles of the Web3 industry. And AI, I would have to say, it's a good add-on to our current development. And when you look at the current Web3 industry, a lot of projects are actively embracing different AI tools in various aspects. But the key part is still building the decentralized project that we had in mind in the first place. So I don't really think AI is ruling and completely changing the whole picture of the current Web3 industry. I would say it can be AI can be regarded as a game changer, but not as a complete shift of the future development direction of the entire Web3 industry. So, yeah, that's my personal opinion.
Thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate it. And Skylar and Chris, do you guys have anything to add on this?
Yeah, not necessarily. Just kind of gave my spill about it. I think everyone has really interesting ideas and opinions here, and I don't know. It's exciting to be in either space. It's exciting to be in both spaces, and I just enjoy learning about it, and being born in this time and this age, and being a part of this. So.
Well, thank you, Skylar. Yeah, that's what I want to say as well. So today, like for having you guys here, I learned a lot myself as well, and it's my honor to meet all you guys here tonight. And I guess that's the end of our session today. It's really good to have you guys. So like for all the audiences, please like follow like their Twitter page, or just to stay posted of the latest trend of their project. And guys, yeah, really like thank you so much for being here today. And so that's the end. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
for
Becca.
Thank you.
us.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.